Good day to everyone. So today I will discuss to you the methods of detecting deception. So the search of reliable means or the search for a reliable means to identify the untrustworthy na tinatawag natin is as ancient as man. Okay? Because some of the techniques were founded in superstitions, yung mga paniniwala natin, and also to the religious belief that God would in some way reveal the truth and disallow the immorality. Ito kasi yung pinapaniwalaan natin. So many of these attempts had some psychological and physiological basis. So what are these bases? Okay. Other methods rely solely for on fear of continued pain and torture. Okay? Yung mga sinaunang pamamaraan kasi is may kaakibat na pasakit, okay? Pagpapakasakit or torture para malaman lang kung ang isang tao ay nagsisinungaling o nagsasabi ng totoo. Okay? So historically, early human beings have their own way of determining lie or guilt, okay, on the part of the accused and the accuser. Okay. One of the early method na tinatawag natin is the common method is the application of yung tinatawag nating ordeal. Okay. Ano ba ang ordeal? So pag sinabi natin ordeal, it is a severe test of character or endurance trying a course of experience and a medieval form of judicial trial in which the accused was subjected to physical test. Okay? Pag sinabi mo kasi nga severe test, okay, of character or endurance, ang mga halimbawa niyan is yung accused or yung accuser para patunayan lang na hindi sila nagsisinungaling, okay? They were subjected to physical tests. Okay, ano yung mga iba't ibang klaseng physical test na yan? Halimbawa na lang is ikaw ay maglalakad sa apoy, okay? Or yung ibababad mo yung ilulublob mo yung kamay mo sa kumukulong tubig, okay? So the result being considered a divine judgment of guilt or innocent. Okay? So this ordeal is also term closely related to the medieval Latin Dei Indicum, meaning miraculous decision. Okay. So the term trial by ordeal, okay, it refers to the ancient method of a trial in which the accused was exposed to physical danger, okay, which was supposed to be harmless if he was innocent. Ito kasi yung paniniwala nila noon na kapag ang isang tao ay nagsasabi ng totoo, okay, meron silang tinatawag na kapag kapag nagsasabi ka ng totoo, hindi ka maaano or ang tawag dito harmless. Okay? Kung ikaw ay isang inosente. So that is the trial by ordeal. Okay? So according to some historians, the trial by combat was the earliest method of determining truthfulness and deception, okay, of a person suspected for a commission of an offense. So, yung trial by combat is the resolving of an issue through strength of arms. Okay? For example, yung dalawang tao, yung maglalaban ang mayan. Okay? Para lang patunayan kung sino sa kanilang nagsasabi ng totoo at sino yung nagsisinungaling. Okay? So, to prove their for example, allegations, they engage in combat. So the ideal assumption is that the truthful individual will win true. Okay? So ang assumption nila is kung sino yung nagsasabi ng totoo, siya yung mananalo. Okay? However, ito naman ang kabaliktaran niya. Okay? The most skilled in combat usually become victorious. Kung sino yung mas malakas, sino yung mas magaling, siya yung mananalo. Okay? So that is the trial by combat. So there are also different methods or early methods of detecting deception aside from trial by combat, which is first is the red hot iron ordeal. When we say red hot iron ordeal, okay, the accused place his tongue, ilalagay niya sa kanyang dila yung nagbabagang bakal 9 times unless burned sooner. Okay? Kapag napaso, he is put to death kasi siya ay guilty kapag napaso daw. Okay? Hindi lang dinidilaan yan. Okay? The subject also made to carry the metal into his hands. Hahawakan din niya yan. Kapag hindi daw napaso, hindi siya guilty. Pero kapag napaso, guilty siya. Okay? So another one is the ordeal by the balance. Ang ordeal by the balance naman is meron silang gagamiting balancer. Okay? The scale of balance is used where the accused is placed on the other end. Ilalagay yung accuser dun sa kabilang dulo. Okay? At yung counterbalance naman is ilalagay sa kabilang dulo. Okay? Ngayon, if the subject were found to be lighter than before, then he will be acquitted. Okay? Kung mas magaan yung subject, okay, before na nilagay siya sa balancer na yun, okay, he is acquitted. That is ordeal by the balance. Okay, another one is the boiling water ordeal. This is most common in Africa. So, ano ang method ng boiling water ordeal? So, the subject will be asked to plunge their right arms into the boiling water. Okay? Ilalagay yung kamay doon sa kumukulong tubig. Okay? Hanggang sa siko. Okay? So, kapag ang sabi diyan is kapag hindi nagkaroon ng blister, hindi siya yung may kasalanan. Okay? But the one who showed the blisters would prove, okay, lalong-lalo na sa mga magnanakaw. Okay? The accuser and the accused, okay, ilulublob yung kanilang kamay. Kung sino yung magkakaroon ng blister sa kanyang kamay, siya yung guilty or siya yung, for example, siya yung magnanakaw. Okay. So next is the ordeal by the what we call rice chewing. Okay. So in this ordeal, it is formed with the kind of meron silang pinapakain na bigas. Okay. Yung tinatawag nilang sati. Okay? So, ang ginagawa nila dito is yung tao, kakainin niya yung rice, then iluluwa niya. Okay? So, pagkaluwa, ang assumption nila is kung merong kasamang dugo yung laway, okay, or hindi lang sa laway kundi dito sa gilid ng bunganga, okay, or the subject is trembled, he is declared then a liar. Okay. Yan yung ordeal by rice chewing. So another one is the ordeal of the red water. Okay. In this ordeal is ang gagawin sa subject is magfa-fasting for 12 hours yung subject. Okay? Then paiinumin siya yung tinatawag na red water or the sassy bark na tinatawag. Okay? Paiinumin siya and then pakakainin siya ng a very small amount of rice. Okay? Then after that, yung ipapainom kasi na tubig is actually emetic. Ano yung emetic? Nakakasuka. Okay? If the suspect ejects all the rice, he is considered innocent. Ngayon, kung iniluwa, ano yung iniluwa? Vomit. Kung inilabas nung subject lahat nung kanyang nilunon na rice, okay? Lahat. Ibig sabihin, siya ay inosente. Otherwise, the accused is guilty. Sa palagay niyo, mailuluwa mo lahat yung kakainin mo, okay? Kahit na nakakasuka yung ipapainom sa'yo. That is the ordeal of the red water. How about the combination of drinks and food ordeal? So, this also the same with the ordeal of red water na yung subject is magpa-fasting siya for 12 hours. Okay? And also, he will eat or swallow a small amount of rice and followed by a large of black-colored water ang ipapainom sa kanya. Okay? At kapag ikaw ay iniluwa mo lahat yun, the accused was pronounced innocent, otherwise guilty. Okay? Next is the trial by combat. I have explained already this trial by combat. So this is a fight between the accuser and the accused. Okay? And whoever lost the battle will be adjudged as guilty. Okay? So this trial by combat was originated in India, okay, where the accuser could hire somebody. Pwede ka naman daw mag-hire ng ipapantapat mo sa iyong kalaban kapag ikaw ay dehado. Okay? So after the fight, the loser will be adjudged as the guilty of crime. So it became the legal ordeal in England during the time of King Henry III. Another one is trial by torture. Okay? So in this trial by torture, the accused was put into a severe physical test from the word torture. Okay? So if the accused can endure such torture, he will be considered innocent. Okay? Kapag makakayanan mo yung torture, ikaw ay idedeklarang innocent. Okay? Another one is the drinking ordeal. Okay? So, the accused, dito sa drinking ordeal, the accused was given a decoction to drink by a priest. Okay? Yung pare, okay? Ang magbibigay ng iinumin doon sa accused. Okay? So, ang sabi dito, if innocent, okay, no harm befalls him. Okay? But if guilty, will die. This is practice in Nigeria and India. Okay, how about the trial by of the Eucharist? Okay, sa trial by Eucharist, this trial is reserved for the clergy. Okay, para lang sa mga clergy ito and administered with the ceremony. Okay. So dito kasi if the accused was guilty, okay, it was believed that Angel Gabriel will descend from heaven. Paniniwala dito is kapag ikaw ay kapag ang accused ay guilty, okay, si Angel Gabriel ay ano bang ibig sabihin ng magdi-descend? Okay, bababa mula sa kalangitan and to prevent the accused, okay, from swallowing the food given to him. Okay? Yan yung kanilang paniniwala. And ordeal by heat and fire. Ano ordeal by heat and fire? Okay? So ito yung maglalakad na yung accused, barefooted. Ano bang barefooted? Okay? Nakapaalang. Okay? He walked barefooted through a fire. Okay? But if the accused remains unhurt, okay, then he is innocent. That is ordeal of the by heat and fire. Another one is the ordeal of boiling oil or water. So this ordeal, the accused was forced to dip his hand into the boiling water. Ano ay yung dip? Ilulublob mo rin yung kamay mo sa kumukulong tubig or langis. Okay? At sasabihin sa iyo na kunin mo yung bato na andun sa kawa. Okay? If the accused remains unhurt, then he is innocent. Sabi diyan is ilulublob mo yung kamay mo at kunin mo yung bato. Kapag hindi ka or if you remain unhurt, you are innocent. Okay? Another one is the ordeal of red hot needle. Okay? Pag sinabi mong red hot needle, ito ay karayom. Okay? So a red hot needle was drawn, okay, itutusok doon sa bibig ng akusado. Okay? Kapag inosente, wala daw dugo na lalabas. Okay? Yan yung ordeal of red hot needle. How about the ordeal of the tiger? So in this ordeal of the tiger, kung maalala ninyo or kung alam niyo yung sa Biblia about Daniel na kung saan nilagay siya sa kulungan ng mga tigre. Okay? Na kung saan hindi siya nilapa ng mga tigre because of the God's providence. Okay? So in this ordeal, the accuser and the accused, okay, ilalagay sila parehas doon sa kulungan ng mga tigre. Okay? So, kung sino yung kakainin ng tigre, siya yung guilty. Okay? So, yun yung kanilang paniniwala. Another one is the test of the cross ordeal. So, the test of the cross ordeal, the accuser and the accused, each were made to stand. Tatayo ang mga yan. Ano yung cross ordeal? Yung kamay ninyo naka-cross sa breast ninyo, diyan sa dibdib ninyo. Okay? Ang assumption dito is the one who endured the longest, okay, was deemed to have told the truth. Okay? Kung sino yung makakatagal o yung mas mahabang naka-cross yung kanyang kamay sa dibdib, siya yung sabi ng totoo. And the donkey's tail ordeal. So the donkey's tail ordeal is ang ginagawa dito is ilalagay yung donkey, okay, sa isang kwarto na mag-isa at i-observe yan. Ang sabi nila is kung ang donkey ay umiyak, okay, as judge of the guilty of crime, then the accused is guilty. Okay, kapag umiyak daw yung donkey, ang ibig sabihin, the accused is guilty. Okay. These are the early methods of detecting deceptions. Okay. So what are the countries or known countries, okay, that practice ordeal? Una dyan yung Burma. Dito sa Burma naman is Myanmar ngayon. The accuser and the accused were given its identical candle, bibigyan ng magkaparehas na kandila. Okay? Then, pareha magsabay na sindihan. Okay? Ang sabi diyan is the holder of the candle that consumed master was adjudged the liar. Kung sino yung mas mabilis na naubos, siya yung sinungaling. In Borneo naman is the accuser and the accused were presented by shellfish placed on a plate. Okay, so an irritating fluid was then poured on the shellfish, and the litigant whose shellfish moved first was adjudged the winner. Okay, yan naman yung kanilang paniniwala. Okay, how about in Greece? So a suspended axe, ano yung axe? Palakol. Okay, ibabato doon sa gitna ng grupo ng mga suspects. Okay, a suspended axe was spun at the center of a group of the suspects. Okay, when the axe stopped, okay, whoever was in line with the blade was supposed to be guilty. Okay, as pointed out by the divine providence. Okay, kapag tumapat sa iyo yung palakol, edi patay ka. Okay? In Nigeria naman, the priest greased a feather and pierced the tongue. Sugatin yung dila ng accused. Okay? Tapos, ipapahid yung feather na may langis. If the feather passed through the tongue easily, the accused was deemed innocent. Okay? So, in the Europe and the early US in 17th century, trial by water was commonly used on those accused of witchcraft. Okay, ginagamit ang mga yan sa mga mangkukulam. Okay, anong ginagawa sa mga mangkukulam na yan? Okay, so tinatalian yung kamay at paa, and then ibabato sa tubig. Okay, kung ang akusado ay lumbog, okay, if the accused sank, he was hauled to the surface half drowned and deemed innocent. Okay? Kapag lumubog daw yung akusado, ibig sabihin, inosente. Okay? But if he floated, he was guilty and burned to death. That is in the Europe and early US. Okay? So next is the forerunners of the scientific method of detecting deception. Unang-una dyan is yung hypnotism. So pag sinabi nating hypnotism, yan ay in-introduce ni Franz Friedrich Anton Mesmer. Okay? Naniniwala si Mesmer na naniniwala siya sa tinatawag nating animal magnetism. Okay? Which in his own personal magnetism, therapeutic effect, influence other person. Okay. So these effects produced were attributed to the state of mind of a subject whereby he is set up and thereby instructed to sit quietly. Yan. As you can see in the example. Parang nawawala ka. Then nawawala ka sa sarili mo, at kung ano yung sasabihin nung nag-hypnotize sa'yo, sumusunod ka na lang. Ginagamitan ka ng mga shiny objects, mga flashing light, okay, na pinapakita sa'yo, okay, in front of your eyes, okay, and to cooperate with whatever the hypnotist would like him to do. Okay. Is the hypnosis is admissible in court? Okay? Ang tanong is, ang hypnotismo ba ay admissible as evidence in the court? Okay? Ang sagot dyan is no. Why hypnosis is not admissible in court? Unang-una, it lacks the general scientific acceptance of the reliability of the hypnosis. Okay? In ascertaining the truth from falseness. Wala pang siyensya na nakapagpapatunay na reliable yung hypnotismo. The possibility that hypnotized subject will deliberately fabricate. Malay natin is kunwari lang, nagkukunwari lang yung subject. Okay? And the prospect that the state of heightened suggestibility in which the hypnotized subject is suspended will produce distortion, okay, of the fact rather than the truth. And the state of mind and professionalism of the examiner are too subjective to permit admissibility of the expert testimony. Wala namang nagkakanda ng training ng hipnotismo. Okay, paano tayo maniniwala? Okay, hindi naman kagaya ng mga ballistics, mga fingerprint na may mga dumadaan sa mga training, mayan. Sa hipnotismo, wala naman. Okay? Kaya ang resulta ng hypnotism, okay, is not admissible as evidence in court. Okay? Next one is the word association test. So, in the word association test, ito naman ay introduce ni Sir Francis Galton. Okay, and but later it was developed by Dr. Carl Gustav Jung. Okay, so paano naman yung method na to? So this method is done by giving a subject a long list of carefully selected stimulus word, as you can see in this example, the what example. Okay, mahabang mga stimulus words sa mga yan, or objects with other pictures combined with other irrelevant words. Ano yung mga irrelevant na yan? Yan ay di-discuss ko sa inyo later on. What is a relevant question and what is irrelevant questions? Okay? Combined with other irrelevant words, objects, or pictures. Okay? With the instruction to respond with the very first word that may come to the subject's mind. Okay. So for example, number one is family. Ano yung maiisip ng subject mo about family? Okay. So, ang sabi nila is, or ang teorya behind this word association test is that the one word or idea is reflective of one another word or idea. Okay? And the expression of their association forms a meaningful picture. Okay? Yan yung theory ng word association test. Okay? So next one, truth serum. Okay? So this was introduced by Dr. Edward Mandelhaus. Okay? So ang term na truth serum, okay? The term truth serum is a misnomer. Ano ba yung tinatawag nating misnomer? Hindi yan yung tamang salita na dapat na parang ganun na hindi yan ang dapat na kanyang pangalan. Okay? Kasi hindi naman nagsasabi ng katotohanan yung serum na yan. Okay? So the procedure in the truth serum method, okay, is that does not make someone tell the truth, and the thing administered is not a serum, but it is actually a drug. Okay. So the procedure, okay, I repeat, the procedure does not make someone tell the truth, and the thing administered is not a serum, but is actually a drug. Okay, ano ang theory dito sa truth serum na yan? Okay. This method is base kasi sa teorya, okay, that the intervention through interrogation is made possible after a dosage of drugs has been appropriately administered. Okay, ang sabi diyan is kung naturukan na yan ng drugs na yan, okay, magkakaroon yan ng yung tinatawag na depression or depresses of the cerebral activity. Okay, to a point of consciousness. Ano yung point of consciousness natin na yan? Yan yung tinatawag nating yung impluensya ng tinatawag nating house receptive stage or yung tinatawag nating twilight zone. Okay? Ano yung twilight zone or house receptive stage? Okay? So, dito, ang condition na to, ang subject ay malalagay sa tinatawag nating half asleep. Ano yung half asleep? Yung gising ka pero parang tulog. Okay? Half asleep. What is the objective of the test? Okay? So the objective of this truth serum method is to extract from the subconscious mind of the subject the stored contents of the mind, yung tinatawag nating memory, yung mga natatandaan natin. Okay? So during the test kasi, ang itinuturok na drugs dito sa truth serum is yung tinatawag nating biosine hydrobromide. Okay? This drug is usually administered hypodermically. Ano yung hypodermically? Dito sa balat natin, itinuturok yan to the subject in repeated doses until a state of delirium is induced. Okay? So dito, when the proper point is reached na, okay, dito na mag-umpisang magtanong. Okay? The questions were answered by the subject truthfully. Okay? So, the subjects forget his acts or may even implicate others. And accordingly, he will disclose everything without evasiveness. Okay? Sa lahat ng deception detection methods, ang truth serum ang ikinukonsiderang most favorable and effective. Okay? Bakit? Bakit sinasabi nating most favorable and effective? Okay? Kung ang mga sumusunod na kondisyon ay masunod. Okay? So why truth serum method is considered most favorable and effective? Okay, if all the following conditions proper to the conduct of the test will be observed. Okay? Unang-una, para maging favorable and effective, yung truth serum is the test must be performed by skilled experimenter, operator, technician, or physician para maging effective. Okay, hindi kung sino-sino yung magkakandak ng truth serum method. Okay? Number 2, the subject expresses his consent to undergo the test. Dapat merong consent yung subject na mag-undergo siya ng truth serum method. Papayag. Kung hindi papayag, wala kang magagawa. And next is the dosage of drugs injected or administered is sufficient for acquiring desired result. Okay? And next is there is a sufficient time during the test. And the last one is the assurance of result is acquired to determine truth or deception. Kung ito ay kumpleto, magiging effective yung resulta ng truth serum method. Okay? So, bakit kaya naging effective yan? Though the statements taken from the subject under this process is not admissible as evidence. Hindi rin admissible as evidence doon sa korte kung ano man yung sasabihin ng subject. Okay? Because its nature is involuntary, its application to criminal investigation is very useful naman because of its psychological effect before, during, and after the test. Okay? For example, bakit effective yan? Okay? Kasi yung iba takot sa needle. Okay? Kasi yung iba baka natatakot na magkaroon ng distraction dun sa kanilang utak pagkatapos ng examination. Kaya magsasabi na totoo yan. Okay? Remember, it is not admissible as evidence in the court kung ano man yung sinabi ng subject. Another one is the narcoanalysis or narcosynthesis. So, the narcoanalysis or narcosynthesis is the same as truth serum. Okay, the same administration of truth serum. Okay, so this method of detecting deception was practically, okay, the same as truth serum, and but the only difference, okay, the only difference is the drugs use. Okay, yung ginagamit lang na drugs ang pagkakaiba nito sa truth serum is yung biosyn hydrobromide. Ito naman dito naman sa narco analysis or narco synthesis is yung sodium amytal or yung sodium pentothal. Okay, yan yung itinuturok sa subject. Okay? So in the narco analysis, when the effects appear, okay, questioning starts. Kapag nagkaroon ng epekto yung drugs na itinurok sa subject, magtatanong na yung examiner. So it was claimed that the drug causes depression of the inhibitory mechanism of the brain and the subject talks freely. Okay? Magkukusa ng magsasalita yung subject mo, okay? Kapag naturukan yan ng sodium amytal or the sodium pentothal. Okay? So the administration of the drugs and subsequent interrogation must be done by a psychiatrist. Okay, so like the administration of truth serum, the result of the test was not also admissible in court. Okay, and the other one is the intoxication. Okay, so ito naman is it was practiced by means of drinking alcoholic beverages. Nilalasing yung subject. Okay, the subject for interrogation will be allowed to take alcoholic beverages up to the point of intoxication. Okay, so theoretically, when under the influence of alcohol kasi, the power of control, okay, is said to be diminished. Okay, alam naman natin kung ano yung pakiramdam ng lasing na lasing. Okay, so the subject will tend to tell everything he knows or reveal all the relevant information. Okay? Kapag lasing ng sabi nila kapag lasing yung tao, diyan mo malalaman ang totoo. Okay? So interrogation is to be made during the excitatory effect of alcohol. Okay? Dito sa method na to, there is eventually lack of self-control of the subject. Okay? Mawawalan ka na ng control kapag lasing na lasing ka na. Okay? So when the subject is already in a depressive state due to the excess alcohol intake, so he will not be able to answer question anymore. Matutulog na lang yan kapag nasobrahan ng pagkalasing. Okay? So ito, tandaan natin ano, confession made by the subject while intoxicated is admissible if he is physically able to recollect the facts and state them truly and exactly, okay? Even after the influence or spirit of alcohol has disappeared. Okay? Ang magiging admissible kapag naalala niya lahat yung kanyang sinabi even after na nawala na yung impluensya ng alak sa kanyang katawan. Okay? But most instances, the subject can recall his utterances and usually refuses to admit the truth of the statement given. Okay? Kahit na pero kung minsan naalala niya yung kanyang mga sinasabi, pero nagsisinungaling pa rin yan. Okay? So no, hindi na nagiging admissible yan. Okay? So yun lang yung intoxication. Nagiging admissible siya kapag naalala niya lahat kung ano yung kanyang pinagsasabi even after nawala na yung impluensya ng alak sa kanyang katawan. Pero sinong lasing na magsasabi ng or mag-aamin sa kanyang sinabi nung nawala na yung espiritu ng alak sa kanyang katawan. Okay, next is the methods, okay, of detecting deceptions through a regular police works. Ito na yung regular methods natin. We have the 5 W's and 1 H. Ito yung tinatawag nating 5 W's and 1 husband. 5 wives and 1 husband. The what, when, where, who, why, and how. And, okay, these questions, these 5 W's and 1 H, are used to gain the so-called 3 I's of investigation. So what is the 3 I's of investigation? Okay. Okay, so I will say the 3 I's of investigation. Okay, first is the information gathering. So pag sinabi natin information gathering is true record check yan, surveillance or intelligence check. So another one is the interview or the interrogation or interview, that is the under the investigation, okay, to obtain admission or confession. Another one is the instrumentation, which through criminalistic process naman na yan. Okay, so with the use of the different investigative or forensic sciences. Okay, what are those investigative forensic sciences? Okay, such as the medical legal, okay, forensic medicine, chemistry, photography, ballistic, QD, question documents, polygraphy, yan yung mga instrumentation na. Okay, dactyloscopy, okay, yan. These are the this is the regular police works, okay, in detecting deception. So why is this scientifically accepted method of what is the scientifically accepted method of detecting deception? Okay, during the 19th century kasi si Dr. Hans Gross, okay, he is known as the father of criminalistic, defined search for truth as the basis and goal of all criminal investigation. Okay? So si Dr. Hans Gross, ang sabi niya is a large part of the criminalistics work is nothing more than a battle against lies. Okay? So he has to discover the truth and must fight the opposite. So he meets the opposite at every step. Okay? But throughout the centuries, ang mga tao naman is continue lang sa pag-eksperimento. Okay? Kung ano yung talagang magandang scientific methods. Okay? Para malaman natin yung katotohanan. Okay? What is this scientific methods in determining truth and deception? Okay? So nagkaroon ng mga development. So at nabuo na nila itong tinatawag na scientific instrument na tinatawag nating polygraph. Okay? Thus, the polygraph technique was used as the scientific means of detecting deception. Okay? So, another one is what is psychological stress evaluator? So, aside from polygraph kasi, okay, aside from polygraph instrument, merong isang modern gadget, in lie detection. Ito yung tinatawag nating PSE or psychological stress evaluator. Okay? So this instrument detects lying by measuring the level of stress experience by the subject through his recorded voice. I-record naman dito yung boses ng subject. Okay? The interview and test are recorded by the computer or cell phone. Okay? So it was scientifically found that when a person speaks, okay, ito, base sa siyensya ito, na kapag ang tao daw ay nagsalita, merong mga audible voice frequencies. Okay? And superimposed on this are the inaudible frequency modulation, which are products of minute fluctuation of the muscle of the voice mechanism. Okay? Ito yung mga fluctuations. Okay, ang mga fluctuations of the muscles or micro tremor, okay, nagkakaroon or lumalabas ang mga yan, okay, at the rate of 8 to 14 cycle per second, okay, and controlled by the central nervous system. So Kung ang subject mo ay under stress or kung isang tao ay under stress, okay? As he is lying. Okay, kung nagsisinungaling yung isang tao, okay, nagkakaroon ng stress yan. Nagkakaroon ng microtremor. So the microtremor in the voice utterance is moderately or completely suppressed. So the degree of suppression varies inversely to the degree of psychologic stress on the speaker. Okay? So the PSE detects, measures, and graphically displays the voice modulation that we cannot hear. Okay? Inire-record ng PSE na yan, yung mga voice modulation na yan, kasi hindi naman natin na naririnig kung talagang mayroong tinatawag na microtremor o tremor sa mga boses natin. Pero kung mapapansin niyo kapag nagsisinungaling kayo is yung pagsasalita natin ay iba. Yung boses natin ay iba. Okay? But when a person is relaxed and responding honestly to the question, those inaudible frequencies are registered clearly on the instrument. Okay? But kung ang tao na yun ay under stress, okay, lalong-lalo kapag nagsisinungaling, okay, yung mga frequency na yun, okay, it tends to disappear. Okay? So during the test of PSE, okay, the PSE examiner asks series of questions to the subjects and record his voice utterances. Okay? So yung PSE na yan, pinifilter niya yung vocal answers. Okay? The instrument filters the vocal answers, creates patterns and displays those patterns on the computer screen. Okay? Then after that, the examiner evaluates the patterns of for truth or deception. Okay? So ano yung procedure sa PSE? Okay, under this method, the following procedure are followed. The examiner meets the requesting party, okay, to determine the specific purpose of the examination. Ano ba yung purpose ng examination na yan? Okay, yan yung unang procedure. Pangalawa, magkakaroon ng pre-test interview with the subject to help him or her feel at ease with the examiner. Okay, to provide an opportunity to specify matters to eliminate outside issues. Okay. And next is an oral test of about 12 to 15 yes or no question is given, which is recorded on a tape recorder. Okay. So yung mga question na yan ay pagkahalong relevant and irrelevant question. Okay. So as I have said that the relevant and irrelevant i-discuss ko sa inyo pag andun na tayo sa formulation of questions. Okay? So and immediately following the test or a late time, the tape is processed through the PSE for analysis of answer. And if stress is indicated, the subject is given authority to provide additional clarification. Okay? So, a retest is given to provide or a retest is given to verify correction and clarification. Okay? So, that's all and thank you and God bless. But I will leave you this quote. Okay, according to Aristotle. Okay, the roots of education are better, but the fruit is, or the roots of education are bitter, but the fruit is sweet. Okay? Thank you, Ed. God bless.